Hi YouTube, today I'm going to be talking about Moon in the 12th house, and I shuffle my tarot, so if you see me looking down, I'm focusing on my energy on the cards because it helps me to communicate, especially when it comes to speaking about other people's feelings, and when I don't have this placement, I need a little bit of help on that. Now, the Moon is who you're at the core, it's how you feel, it pertains to family, home life, it's how you view your mother, and whatever house the moon is in is where those feelings are expressed. It's how you go about things. So, like the 12th house is ruled by Pisces, and the 12th house is the unconscious. Your ascendant, your first house, is how you express your subconscious mind, which is your 12th house. Now, when your moon, like the 12th house is your subconscious mind, and your first is how you express your subconscious mind. For example, my first house is Virgo, my 12th is Leo. So my subconscious mind is like a Leo, but I express that as a Virgo. Now, when your moon, which is your feelings, is in the house of the subconscious mind, which is traditionally ruled by Pisces, and Pisces is ruled by Neptune, which is all about disillusionment, fantasy, daydreaming, all of that. You guys may be very prone to psychic, intuitive, very intuitive people, actually, very sensitive, very caring people that you are. Then your subconscious mind is constantly it's who you are, like the moon is who you are at the core, and like in a way your subconscious mind is open. The 12th gate, like the 12th house is open for you, the subconscious, the unknown, the other realms. You might be a very you love to dream, whether it be through sleeping or whether it be like through daydreaming, creating fantasies like about how events should go and stuff. So my moon's in Pisces, and my brother has this placement. He's a moon in Virgo. So in a way, I can relate to it because I just add Piscean qualities to this house. So basically, these people are like very oversensitive. They're very in tuned with their feelings. They're raw emotion. So if you have this, you're very receptive to how you feel, and you're very receptive of how other people feel and your environment and everything around you. You may also think of situations that haven't even happened yet, like tragic situations, things that really put you in the dumps, and like you will start to feel it, even if you haven't experienced it, even if it's not your reality, because whatever is going on in your subconscious mind, which is all those fantasies, they feel as if a reality. And when you think of those possibilities, you start to embody how you would feel if those situations were real. And I'm not saying it has to be a tragic event. You can also fantasize about love, about your future, and if you like really get into the fantasy, you're like, oh, so happy. And in fact, you can get so caught up in all of that that you have a hard time dealing with your day-to-day life. Day-to-day responsibilities just feel like a drag, because why do you want to live in like a day-to-day life that's so practical and so boring and so like when your mind is this super highly imaginative thing. And you have a collective unconscious mind, you have collective dreams, you have collective visions, you have insights to things that nobody else does. And but the thing is, you feel all of this, but it's almost as if you're so afraid to express it, or you are more of a private person when it comes to your emotions and your feelings, and you tend to bottle it all up at times, and then suddenly it just hits you, and you could be so sad and so depressed for a long time. You really could wallow in sadness for quite some time. And you can experience a feeling of loneliness and isolation simply because if you were to verbally express to someone how you felt, I bet it's so hard for you to do that. I bet it's so hard for you to, like, if you could like it like transfer the feeling to somebody else, yeah, they would totally understand what you're feeling and stuff. But like when it comes to you like verbally expressing it in this practical world, when you have all that unconscious mind linked to who you are, it's so hard for you to do that. And then you don't even bother expressing it and telling other people because you feel as if no one's really going to understand. And you're right. I'm sorry, but no one can feel as deeply as you can, and no one can truly understand how you feel, and that can lead to isolating yourself. You're probably, my brother has this placement, and he loves to be alone, like in his room, and just isolate himself. And like it's because like you're comfortable with being alone because and you're comfortable by being with yourself because you can be who you are, and you can like it's a way of like just expressing yourself without having to worry if others understand you. And yeah, it can really get you down sometimes, especially if you're someone that really longs for another connection with someone and a spiritual connection with someone, but it doesn't happen and you don't have that. You could feel very alone because this house is traditionally ruled by Pisces, and Pisces is a natural healer, communicator, and wants to nurture people. A lot of times people with this house placement, you could go, you feel how other people feel, you feel other people's pain, and you always want to help them. You always want to give and give of yourself, and you want to do things that you can connect with and make other people feel better. Because a lot of times growing up, you might have felt defenseless. You might have felt helpless. And it has to do with your early upbringing, if that's the case. And if the moon is here, the moon is how you view your mother. And if we're talking about how this applies to your mother might have been someone who was very emotional, secluded herself, isolated herself from you. My moon's in Pisces, so I do relate to this. I have an easier way of expressing it, because my moon's in the 7th house, and my brother has his moon in the house of Pisces. So I can relate to him because my mother was someone who was very emotionally turbulent and was someone who isolated herself when she hit this emotional break. She would seclude herself in her room to deal with her emotions. So that's just my experience, and hopefully some of you guys can relate to it. But you have all these overwhelming feelings at times that you can hit a breaking point, and you can go through times where you're so depressed and that you feel as if you're helpless, because you do feel so deeply compared to a lot of other people, and you're very overly sensitive. And the reason why you don't express how you feel a lot of times is because when you do, you feel vulnerable. You feel as if anyone can hurt you, and you're more of a private person when it comes to your emotions. And honestly, people know, people see your pain, people see that you're hurting, because these people tend to not necessarily speak about it a lot, and but they're known to be very quiet and very kept to themselves and very in their minds and very dreamy, so when that happens, people, at least people with water or someone that's very receptive to how you feel as well, other people can pick this up. And when my best friend has this placement too, and although you guys are very sensitive, and although you guys can be a little bit hard on yourself, especially since you may be so caught up in your emotions and caught up in your how you feel, that the day-to-day affairs of life are just even more overwhelming for you, even more difficult to deal with, and it's just it can be so much for you, and you keep it private, but you guys are so strong, you know? Both my brother and my best friend have gone through, I feel like internally, they have gone through so much more than me, and they are strong. They are truly resilient people. And even when they are very hard on themselves because everything's so overwhelming, and they hit those breaking points where they don't want to go to school, and they don't want to like deal with this bullshit reality. They don't want to deal with that. Home for them, when they go, like, home is a way of like just escaping. You have a need to escape. Pisces is all about escapism, and when sadness consumes you, you need to express it, and it could be through something that's addictive to you. It could be drugs, it could be alcohol, it could be just dreaming, it could be just like tuning out this world when everything gets a little bit stressful and you're just in your head. And if that's not the case, you could turn to something that's a little bit more in terms of drugs and alcohol and things that help you cope. It's very hard for you to cope with a lot of these things because how you feel, it's just so deep. It's like this is the house of the oldest sign of the zodiac, and this indicates that you've had multiple past lives, that you've had a lot of experiences, that you've had a lot of pain and suffering, and your unconscious mind, the way that people feel that have a trouble like expressing, it's so known to you. It's like a reality to you, and it's such a great placement at the same time because you can be so intuitive on other people's feelings, and you're so sympathetic when it comes to other people's feelings as well. And you can be this person that's wears the smile on their face and just wants to have fun and be happy-go-lucky, but then on the inside, nobody really knows what's going on in your mind. And it's not like the eighth house where it's like just these deep, dark, manipulative walls up. Like I'm scared to let anyone in. Like, no, you love wholeheartedly, even if the person continues to hurt them. The truth is, you aren't afraid of getting hurt. And even if you are, you choose to see the best in everybody. You will keep getting that pain that other people give you just to help them, because you can see when someone's emotionally damaged. You can see when someone else needs help, and all you want to do is help them. And it's like a Pisces, like this house ruled by Pisces. I'm not saying that your moon has to be in Pisces. This house is traditionally ruled by Pisces. So like when it comes to what was I gonna say? This happened to me in my 8th house video too, where I just totally blanked. Hold up, let me think. When it comes to like helping others, you connect with them. You're able to put yourself in those shoes and truly embody them. Pisces, it's like all you want to do is help, and all you want to do is truly like be there even when you're not okay on the inside, and that's because you're meant to be a healer. You're meant to be a communicator. This is such a powerful placement because you're unconscious. Everything that's out of this realm is literally open for you. And you're so much wiser. And you have a way of dealing with your emotions, if it doesn't involve like escapism, that's truly pure. And you yourself are a truly pure, wholehearted person. And the truth is, you will keep getting hurt by the same person or people that hurt you because you don't know boundaries when it comes to love and when it comes to helping and feeling, because you can't turn that off. You can't turn off that unconscious mind that just wants to like reach out and be there for everyone even when you're hurting. It just doesn't happen. And you are truly like an amazing person. You have a gift. You're very intuitive and psychic, and you may love things that have symbolic meaning to them, and you might love things of the other realm, whether it be astrology and whether it be more of like yeah, like things like that, you know. That's really something that you can connect through that doesn't exist in the physical world. You really relate to that and you really enjoy that. Alright, so I'll see you guys in my next video. I hope you guys enjoyed. Feel free to leave any constructive criticism, any comments, and I'll make sure to answer you back. And if you feel as if I left anything out, please let me know so that I have knowledge about it. And yeah, bye guys.